Hello everybody, Raven Knight here, coming at you with your weekly update, and let's go ahead and get this show out of the way, the typical stuff. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Subscriptions really help us out at the time of making this video. We are really close to 18,000 subs. Let's make it all the way, guys. I made a goal for the channel that we would try to reach 20,000 subs by the end of January. I still don't think we'll make it, but we got to set kind of some kind of goal, right? So let's try to meet it if we can. Again, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to like the video, leave a comment, and also go check out the Teespring store to purchase some merchandise. We got some really cool stuff, and we have a limited time Clayer Claws merch line going on, where you can get this cute little chibi that you see on screen on a shirt, on a hoodie, on a mug, on what have you. It's really cool, but it's only available for December. Please get it while it is there. Okay, now moving on to the main stuff. So, as I said in my last live stream, I am actually recording this on Saturday of this week, but it is releasing on Monday, which means that there may be some changes between the time I'm recording this and when it releases, and if that is the case, I will let y'all know any changes via Discord. So if you're not part of the Discord, please join the Discord where you can get up-to-date information as I release it. But the reason why is because I am heading home this weekend to go visit family and to see my mom and dad perform in a church play, which they do every year, which is going to be awesome. I'm really looking forward to that. So I will not be available on Sunday evening or Monday morning, but I will be driving back Monday morning, and we might be able to do some kind of stream or something Monday night. We'll see what happens. So what is coming over the next week? Well, my plan is I would like to try to get the next Fantastical History video out on the Skaven. Gonna try to get that out next week. Now you might be thinking, well, what's very Christmassy about the Skaven? Come on, didn't you ever see the Nutcracker play? Don't you know about the Rat King and all that? Come on, it fits. It fits. You got to squint real hard, stand on one foot, and twist your eye a little bit. Yeah, it still fits. I'm really looking forward to that. Can't wait to make that video. And no, it won't just be about the Skaven for Warhammer. I will discuss them, but I'm going to talk about Rat Men in a general sense. Also, the new Heroes in History character has been decided. Nuxia is going to be the next Heroes in History. I'm going to enjoy looking into that. But let me make something clear, because this is something that I noticed on the poll. I was seeing a lot of anger from people, like insults about no one cares about the Wu Lin. I haven't discussed any of the Vikings, I haven't discussed most of the Vikings. Let's get Orochi out of the way because he's the last samurai you have to do, all that kind of stuff. Here's the thing, guys. I pick who I do based on the poll. And if Nuxia is winning the poll, that means that there are some people out there who want to hear me talk about Nuxia. Don't say things like no one cares about the Wu Lin, because clearly someone does. Secondly, yes, I'm well aware that I still have 3 Vikings to do, but are you also aware that I still have 3 Wu Lin to do? I mean, the number is not the issue here. I'm going to do everyone. One person even said, why would I even put Zhang Jun on the list? I've done a 3-part video talking about his inspiration. Wouldn't that be a waste of time? You would think so, but what would people say? Like, I'm going to do every Heroes in History except one because I don't think it's worth my time. No, I'm going to do everyone. I'm going to do everyone. In fact, if you watch my For Honor analysis videos, like my first ones, I actually give brief explanations of what heroes are based on in those videos. In all retrospect, Heroes in History doesn't have to exist, but I still want to do it. So I'm going to do Zhang Jun, I'm going to do Berserker, I'm going to do Raider, I'm going to do Warlord, I'm going to do Tian Di, I'm going to do Zhang Jun. I'm going to get to everyone. And I will do Orochi too. I may not like it, but I will get to him. So know that will happen. Alright, so next piece of information. For Honor and Glory Chapter 14 is in the works. I will be finishing that up. I will try to get that out. If not next week, the week after that. It will be out before December ends. But it will be the last For Honor and Glory chapter that I write until probably mid or late January or early February. And the reason why is because for some of my friends across the country or overseas, I don't send them packages, I write them stories. What they do is they contact me and say, hey, this is a short story or chapter of a story that I'd really like you to write, and then I write it for them. So because I'm going to be writing a lot as Christmas presents, I need to take a break from For Honor and Glory so that I can work on those. So just bear with me. I know that you guys love that story. I love the story too, but I got to think about the people that I care about, the people that I love, like they deserve stories too for Christmas presents. I love you guys too. But I'll be writing For Honor and Glory throughout the year. Trust me, I will be continuing the story consistently. Christmas only comes once a year, though. I've got a lot of people who've asked me for stories for Christmas, so I'll be writing for them. All right, so now let's talk about what I'm going to be giving y'all for Christmas. I offered this as an idea, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. For those of you who do not know, one of my books that I have finished was Monster Club, which is the sort of a story about a young human who moves into a cabin to live kind of in a shared community cabin, but everyone who he lives with is some kind of monster. And it's basically him learning to associate with them learning to accept him, kind of a fun coming-of-age acceptance story. I finished that story, but I have a friend named Hannah Valdiabella who lives in the States, but she's from the Philippines. We met when she lived in the Philippines. And she wants to be a graphic designer. And in fact, she contacted me one time and said, I'd really like to make my first visual novel, which is basically kind of like, you know what dating simulators are? Basically like computer games where it tells a story and your decisions make differences. That's a kind of visual novel. She said she wants to make her very first visual novel, but she doesn't have a story. She asked if she could borrow the Monster Club characters. I said yes. But then she said she wasn't great at writing stories, so could I make an original story with the Monster Club characters? I would write everything, she would make a visual novel. And I said, okay, I'll write it all out, you make the visual novel. It took us about almost a year to finish, but we did release it. It is 100% free. You can download it because it was just a practice thing. There's only one choice you have to make at any point in the story, so it's more of just a book that you can play with graphics and music and stuff. And I worked really hard on it. She worked even harder than I did on it, but it does exist. And I thought as a cool Christmas gift, I might play that game. I might record myself going through that visual novel with you guys. It only takes about an hour and a half to get through, so it wouldn't be that much different than any other stream I do. So if y'all would like that as a Christmas gift, let me know in the comment section. I'd be more than happy to do it. I think that that'd be a lot of fun. I'd love to go through it. And of course, I will give color commentary on the characters, on what goes on the plot twist, how I wrote a certain piece, about Hannah's graphic style. It will be a lot of fun. Okay, so last thing that I want to talk about before we get into the story sharing. This Wu Lin hero possibility. Ever since I made my stream reaction and my clarification video, I've been getting nothing but comments saying one of three things. Either, we're the Viking hero, we wanted Viking, or, yo, we don't want Wu Lin, why we get Wu Lin, or, why not pirate, we want pirate. It's one of those three. I hear some who say, yeah, Wu Lin hero, but a lot of them are just very, very vitriolic. It's kind of crazy. Here's the thing, guys. As I've said before many times now, I choose to remain optimistic and positive about whatever Ubisoft gives us. If it comes out and it's really disappointing and it's really not good, I will say, yeah, this was a poor decision. But until we know more and we get verification of what it is, I'm going to maintain an optimistic attitude. Okay? People were upset when they heard that Griffin was just holding cross. Turns out he's not that bad. People were upset when they heard that War Mommy was a discount Apollyon. Turns out she's not that bad. Sometimes the things that we think are going to be bad turn out better than we expected. And right now, I am excited for what they bring. I'm with Marco Iolo. If you haven't seen his video discussing what's coming in Year 5, Season 4, I'm with him. I think it's going to be a Wu Lin hero based on Chengshi. I think it's going to be a very cool hero. I think it's going to be an interesting take. Pirates aren't really my thing, but I can understand why they would go the theme they did if they're building up the piracy angle. So I'm going to retract a lot of my negativity on that front, and I'm going to say this. I'm excited for what's coming. I'm excited for what they decide to do. I think this opens a lot of possibilities, especially when you consider Chengshi's history, which I'll go into in a Heroes in History video if that is indeed the case. If it is not the case and it's not Chengshi, then we will approach it another way. Another thing that I've heard a lot of people say is that it's an Assassin's Creed hero. I really hope it's not, because I don't think Assassin's Creed and For Honor need to intermingle. I don't think that needs to be the case. Plus, most of the Assassin's Creed characters that we've seen would exist outside the time and space of what For Honor is. So I really do not want that to be the case. But again, if that is the case, whatever. We'll see where it goes. And that's all I'll say on that matter. I've said my piece. I hope that it is a Wu Lin hero based off of Chengshi. I hope that this hero is really, really awesome. It will be nice to have another Wu Lin hero, because even with I love this. Why aren't we getting a Viking hero? Well, you do realize that the Vikings have 7 heroes right now, and the Wu Lin still only have 5. So even with this new hero being Wu Lin, they still have fewer than the Vikings. So I think it's time the Wu Lin got a little something. Whatever the case, I'm excited for what comes. Now, let's wrap up today with story sharing time. Yay, story sharing time. Let me tell you about the story that kind of broke me. It's not because the story was bad, by all means, but because of what context led up to the story. The story is called I Live with a Witch, and the title is very self-explanatory. It's about this guy who ran away from home because of a very difficult, nearly abusive family situation. Finds this cottage in the middle of nowhere, and its only resident is a witch close to his age, named Eva. And she is there hiding from her own family. So the two have that in common, because her family has expectations of her that she cannot meet. She is training on her own to master her magical abilities because she's kind of a novice. She's not very good at magic. And she wants to get better, but she's not getting any better. And she hopes that this new character, the male, Thomas, will be able to help her. And throughout the story, it's basically her practicing magic, screwing up, him having to cover for her. Occasionally, family matters get involved. They have to figure out what the family's up to, figure out how to avoid confronting them. Lots of crazy shenanigans get involved. It was a fun story, but the reason it was hard was because I worked on it with a friend of mine from way back when, named Mika. She was the artist who drew a lot of the pictures for it. She helped come up with the general idea and the principle. She and I worked very closely on it, but when me and Mika had a falling out, when she and I stopped conversing, and I tried to continue the story felt that much harder to finish. Even though I had an ending planned for the story, it became almost impossible to come back to it. It became very hard to even look at the story without feeling a mix of emotions: anger, frustration, sadness, all that fun stuff. Which was weird because I realized just how intertwined that story was with her. So it's the story I can't finish. Much like Metamorphosis, it's a story I can't finish because it was intertwined with someone and something that is no longer part of my life anymore. So it's not something I can continue. If you want to see it for what it is, you can. I'm not going to stop you from taking a look, but know that it will never be finished, or at least not in the way it is. I could always go back and try rewriting it from my own perspective, but I think I've got too many stories going on right now. There's no point in doing that. I've got Dragon's Oath to worry about. I've got Castella Stellarum to worry about. I got Shogun of Crime to worry about. I got other stories, so probably going to leave that one alone for the time being. But thought that I'd share that one anyway, because that is a story that I worked for a great deal of time on, even if it will never be finished. Very unfortunate, I know. Okay, guys, so just to recap everything, we got Heroes in History and Fantastical History on the way. For Honor and Glory is coming up soon. I'm excited for the new Wu Lin hero because I'm pretty sure it's going to be Wu Lin. The ship looks very Wu Lin. The armor that we saw looks very Wu Lin. The weapon that we saw, a butterfly sword from the looks of it, looks very Wu Lin. I'm excited. I think it's going to be cool. I'm willing to wait it out and be optimistic about it. I'm going to do a Christmas live stream, hopefully, of Monster Club visual novel playthrough. Would love y'all to let me know in the comments what y'all think of that. Please let me know if that's something y'all would be interested in, and I'd be happy to do it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Take care.